Shamans, we understand, cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tech Shaman Show.
We're live?
Hey,
We're live.
We're live? When did that happen?
On air.
Hi, we're live.
on air.
On,
We're on air.
on air. Look at that.
air.
On air.
I have to hide this
Eat it,
junk
Joes.
of
Eat it,
mess
Joes.
right here. It bothers me.
Well, there you
So-
have it. That worked. And now we're on air.
Yeah, now you can see that we're on air the whole
I
time.
love that.
Whole time.
Got
I
two
really
more over
like
there.
that.
They were cheap.
I don't care. Don't say that. You don't have to say that. Say they were
Sure, low
outrageously
cost.
expensive.
They were so awesome.
And it looks like the lights are on them and they're
They are.
flashing
Look,
and
I can
stuff.
go I can go all red.
Oh,
I can all go
so
green.
now we're a red light district. Green's pretty
green.
good. Oh, the blue is nice.
I'll leave
Leave
it
it blue.
blue.
Leave it
They
blue.
were
I like
low
the blue.
cost.
They were very low cost.
Yeah.
You can see the strips, the LED strips on the inside. It's really sad.
I
But
don't have a
anyway.
problem
Hey,
with
welcome
that.
to Tech Shaman Show.
Oh, yeah. Hi. Yeah, look, we have tech.
We have tech. We are going to talk about some stuff today, and I know we're
boy, do we have some
we're all
stuff
sitting.
to talk about.
Hey,
I didn't do that.
there's $1. I love it. I love it.
I feel like your show so much. You just
Adam
wanna go
is
on it.
evil.
You do. You know, it's like, hey, watch, look at me. I'm so pretty. So anyway, sorry we weren't here last week. So we had a big internet outage.
Yes.
And I guess it was only us that had the big internet outage. So Files had to come in and change out our ONT, which was bad, and it happens. You know, I'm not getting mad at them. There's no reason to get upset with them. You know, stuff does happen. It is what it is. So we weren't here last week. This week, did you tech over the weekend?
No, unless you want to count power tools as teching.
Well, that's cool teching.
That's fun teching. Yeah, that was
Okay, so the older I get,
yeah. The
The
simpler
more-
the tech becomes.
right? No, the more I want to work with lumber and wood and build stuff. Is that weird?
No, I think it really makes sense because it's something that is substantial. It's something you can hold and show.
Because TV is not
and-
substantial, and this is
No,
all
and
digital video
stuff
crap.
you build, is gone in a second.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
right.
but if you build a table, or in my case, a pair of gigantic doors, then they could be there for days or weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I've
maybe
literally-
even months.
They will be here today. So I literally have bought a planer, which is on its way. I
Cool.
have bought a radio alarm saw, which is on its way.
Yep.
I bought a bandsaw, which is on its way. All this stuff is coming in, and then I've got my own table saw, which I want to build a table saw of something like this. So I have a lot of area to run.
Yeah, large lumber
John
over.
used
You know,
tech to purchase those items.
I did. Well, is that true? Would that be teching? I
You
guess
know-
it would. I actually
Did you order
tech,
it online?
but I did. Yes, I did.
There you go.
it's funny, but one of the things that I saw recently, and I've like discovered the streaming like TikTok video of Facebook, and that is watching a guy take a table saw and flip it upside down, extend the blade all the way, and use it as a giant push radial saw to cut through like 4 layers of plywood at the same time.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
And I'm like, dang.
That's pretty cool.
That is a neat idea. And it really allows the whole, because the saw is not the issue, it's the wood.
It is.
So flip the table saw over, and it becomes a giant, basically, buzz saw. It's perfect.
Well, I
So-
mean, I don't know how this turned into the woodworking show, but it looks like it's going to go that way. Sorry, everybody.
Come on, get your whittles.
I want to build so we all it's funny. We all go to Lowe's and Home Depot, and then we go, I need this piece of 4x8 cut in half because I really don't have the
Yeah.
table saw to do it. And they put it up on this thing, and
Yep.
I'm like, I want one of those. So I've literally downloaded that's my next thing to build. I've downloaded the plans for that so I can build one of those. I'm going to build it myself out of 2x4s. I didn't realize I thought you had to have the metal and the whole 9 yards.
Even if you do, that's no big deal. I mean, it's just a couple pipes, and then you use PVC joints as your slides to move it up and down.
See?
So you could do that too.
There you go.
Yeah, but that's what we do. We solve these kinds of tech issues
That's
here.
what we do.
Welcome.
So, Adam? Oh, actually, and the other thing I teched is I streamed weddings this weekend.
Yeah.
So my
Awesome
nieces,
sauce.
I had a niece in Connecticut and a niece down here. My niece, Dylan, went to the Mama Tech, went to Connecticut to that wedding. I stayed down here and streamed this wedding, but I kind of watched a little bit. Somebody was streaming from there. I got to watch a bit. Absolutely beautiful weddings on both sides. So I am so proud of my girls. They're just absolutely phenomenal. But anyway, did you tech?
I live streamed some burnouts.
Okay, so how cool is that place?
That is it's getting it's pretty cool.
Oh, wait a minute. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 lights that are on and 2 that are not.
Oh, that's okay.
So anyway,
It's like
We're
it's
blind
like
anyway.
I want to go there.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Then what'll happen? I'll get up there and I'll get the bug and go, oh, you know what?
I miss these cars.
Now I want to do mechanics again.
Yeah,
No,
and that's exactly what happened to me. So I started looking for some.
you know, and here's something funny. I'm not a well, I used to be. I have an ASE certification, so I can do engine rebuilds. And then I went to Detroit, not to Detroit. I went to Detroit Diesel to learn to build 92 series, which, and the reason I did it is because my dad told me not to, so I did it anyway. You want me to do something? Tell me not to do it. Watch what happens. I'm just telling you right now. I will shut that crap down in a heartbeat.
I got my ASE certification. I used to be in this. Oh, what? You cut me up.
Cut him up.
Cut him up. So yeah, I used to ASE certified mechanic. I used to be an assistant diesel mechanic for the West Pasco school bus garage. Worked in mechanics all my life. I was a store manager for multiple different parts companies. So just moved over to this. It's kind of the same thing.
And I have knuckles to prove it. I have
Ain't that the
rebuilt.
truth?
I have rebuilt. I rebuilt my own. I had a 1973 Super Sport Camaro. Frame off, restoration, did everything except the bore, blueprint, and paint. Everything else I did. I did it all myself. Well, me and my buddies, but we physically did it ourselves. I'm like, that was fun. So
No, you're
I'm
talking
not
about
stupid,
reverse
I just-
psychology. We
Yeah.
had to trim goat hoofs this morning. Okay, there's some, and we wanted the goats to go into a stall that's got a lot of weeds in the back because the goats eat the weeds, the horses eat
But
the
you got to
grass.
clean hoods.
But so it was really funny because Amy's like, okay, how do you get them in? I said, goats, don't go in there. Don't you stay out of there. Immediately, one of them immediately bolts for it. I'm like, that's how you do it.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of
funny.
that lady. You've seen that lady on TikTok doing the emus, and then she starts talking, and then she just puts her hand up, and then one guy's like, "Does anybody want to talk about this lady using the force to stop this emu?" She just put her hand up, and this thing just was charging at her, and just literally stopped, and just walked away.
It doesn't work.
What?
All right.
Okay, meanwhile, back at tech.
Back in tech. Okay, so
Yes.
the Apple Watches, I guess, are
Yes, the new ones.
They're the brand new ones. So
Yeah.
it's not going to be retroed back. It's going to be strictly
It
the brand
depends
new
on what they
ones.
discover.
Okay, so they're going to tell
Probably
you whether or
depends on
not
all
you're
the
depressed or
sensors.
not.
Yeah, and it won't be based on your search history, which is how Google does it now.
Jeez.
It'll be based on your watch history.
No, it'll be based on your biometric data that they're gathering in the watch. And, I mean, obviously, the more they can gather, the more it can tell us. And are there markers in, certain traits of, pulse and temperature and respiration and all these things that indicate depression? How many times you stand up a day, and are there certain, correlations? They obviously will not be causations, it won't be perfect. But they're looking at these things and saying, are there things that we are seeing as patterns in people who suffer from depression? And is there a way for us to know in advance? So it's kind of like, instead of a thought crime, it's a thought condition. And it's predetermining that you might be suffering from depression. And
Or you're
I mean,
constipated.
what's that?
Constipated.
Or you're constipated, I guess, yeah, which would be depressing. But
Coconut milk. It'll fix it. All natural, guaranteed.
So these are things that, you look at that, and is it an amazing level of technology that we can do this? Or is this perhaps a case of, overstep of technology, and is it really any of your business? If this is how I am and this is how I feel, should I really be getting a message from my watch or my phone or a call from my doctor saying, hey, we've just been notified that you might not be, why don't you come on in, because you are currently a member of probably the most medicated society on Earth currently, and definitely in the history of the planet, and which is also, weirdly enough, the most obese and unhealthy, with the highest infant mortality.
You can't call people fat.
I didn't say that.
Oh my God,
I
you just
said
called
they
them
were
all fat.
obese. Obese and fat are not the same thing.
Apple's getting into the.
I actually,
mechanic.
technically, I'd be obese.
No, you are not. I am, but I'm losing it. I'm dropping.
We're
But
just not saying
the point
anything
is not to sit here and shame Adam. The point here.
Poor Adam.
Poor Adam.
Don't feel
Poor
sorry
Adam.
for him. It just encourages him.
Oh.
You're enabling.
Damn you, Adam.
Why are you driving up the average, Adam?
God, Adam, it's all your fault, Adam.
So there, actually, it
just
was
don't-
Eve's fault, but that's another discussion.
I don't want something on my body that says, "Oh, hey, you're depressed." No,
It
maybe
pops up
I'm
with a
not.
sad face.
Everybody gets a little blue every now and then. I swear to God,
With a blue sad face is like.
it's Idiocracy. The movie Idiocracy. How are you feeling? He goes, "How are you feeling?" when he's in the hospital.
I've actually
Trying to
never
check in.
seen it. When it was on
Chris, how you
Netflix and
feeling?
stuff, I
Good or
missed
bad?
it.
It's a smiley face or a frowny face. I'm like, really?
No, I really want to watch Idiocracy, but I can't find it anywhere right
I got
now.
it. I actually have it.
And then
No
the
problem.
watch shocks
Okay.
you until you start smiling.
Yes.
Says, there you go.
Yeah,
That's
shock
about
therapy.
time.
Shock therapy works. Shock therapy works. Okay.
2 + 2 = 5, I promise.
Swear.
So, okay, now on to our next story, because we've now become really depressed reading that one.
Now I'm really sad.
So am I.
think
Can
I just
we just
wanna-
call the show here?
Let's just call
We're
it the
done.
show. Yeah, yeah.
Rob, turn off the camera.
So,
We're
okay,
done.
have you ever watched Airplane 2?
No, it's how many times have you watched
Have
Airplane
you watched
2?
Airplane 2?
Yeah.
I love
These
it.
lights keep flashing out of sequence. Well, make them flash in sequence.
But I love
Okay.
it when he gets right to that point. He goes, "That's it. Call it quits.
Yeah, it's-
Turn it all off. Turn everything off." And then wait. Okay, let's continue on. We can do this, right? So, yeah, it's one of those things where I don't want a
Turning
piece.
certain death into a
I really
a
don't
chance for
want
life.
a piece of
Tech,
a tech telling me.
how I feel.
So we're gonna jump ship real quick.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
I know, right?
Jump ship?
Yep, ship.
Entirely.
Because this is not on here, but we're going to talk about this. So we had a question come in about smart thermostats.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so don't buy the Honeywell. It's the biggest piece of crap I've ever owned in my life. It constantly goes offline, and right now I can't get into it. I've reset it. I've literally unplugged it from the wall, replugged it back on, installed the battery, the whole 9 yards, and it still won't let me set the internet on it so I can get in and tell it to do what it's supposed to do.
I think you'd be better off with a Nest.
That's what everybody says. So I want to get a Nest here. And the reason but anyway, someone emailed us in and said, okay, so since you're a tech guy, what's your opinion on them? And I'm like, just don't buy the Honeywell because they're pieces of crap. But anyway,
I believe if with the right build, I think Nest has been around the longest.
Right.
Okay, they started off before Google even bought them, obviously.
right?
But Nest has been around the longest. They've kind of refined that programming and what needs to be done. And basically, they have motion sensors. They have person detection. They can detect when there's movement in a room. They'll know when they're supposed to learn your.
Oh, great AI.
Your
Here we go.
They're supposed to learn. They learn your
You
pattern.
seem depressed.
You
Let me
seem-
warm the house for you.
Let me
Are
make
your
it warming.
Are your feet cold? I think you have diabetes. Your feet are always cold.
I am going
Let's
to lock.
warm up the
I'm going to
house.
lock the refrigerator now. Thank you, fat ass.
Yes. The
You've
fridge
eaten
is
enough
locked.
today.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what happens when we walk into the room and next thing your Nest has a big smiley face on it?
Hi, how are you?
Welcome home, John.
Welcome. John, it's too hot in here.
Oh my God!
Is it getting steamy, or is it just
Oh
me?
my God! So, okay, so the
So-
Nest seems like that's the one that everybody seems to talk about the most.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you right now. Maybe it's just me, but I'm pretty smart, I think, when it comes to some of this stuff. And this one piece of tech in my house, dude, I come home and I have to reset the schedule every single day, even though it tells me the battery's full.
On your thermos, your
The
smart
Honeywell.
thermos? Oh,
Yep.
okay. So that's the point. The Nest is supposed to learn your habits, because most people do have programmable thermostats.
What you find out is Cage is actually screwing with it. He's running in and out, in and out, in and out all day.
Well,
just to
I'm
mess with the
supposed to be able
thermostat.
to log in. It's a Sensi.
Yeah.
But it's made by Honeywell, I believe. I'm supposed to be able to log in and build my schedules. And if I'm coming home early, I can go, I'm coming home early, turn it down.
Remember, okay, Nest started off on the technology side
Right.
to build inwards,
Yes.
okay, into a technology they're not really too familiar with.
Right.
But they're familiar with making those patterns, the programming and stuff like that.
Okay.
Then you got Honeywell, who makes
Thermostats.
makes thermostats, but also just deals in the hardware side.
Right.
They have to partner with an outside company to try to build their software package and all that
course.
stuff, and things don't always work that well when you're going
No.
that
Anthony,
way.
look away. Look away, Anthony.
So
Look away.
You know,
I
look
think-
away,
huh?
look
Look
away. Sorry, how many of us have been watching?
So which one's the best one?
Yeah.
What do you get? Do you get the?
You know what's funny
the,
is
the,
Ecobee-
the one to the bottom to the right. There.
as a really good analogy to this, if you look at EMR software, okay, electronic medical records, medical records companies, software billing, medical billing companies, they've all come into the marketplace with these EMRs, and they were like, oh, look what we have. Meanwhile, you've got and honestly, most of them are trash.
Right.
They're awful to work with. And then you
$500.
get a single software company, okay, Dr. Chrono, who was a Silicon Valley software company. They built apps, and they went, hang on, is this all you need this to do? Watch. And they built an app-based EMR that is just incredible in how powerful and easy it is to use. I mean, the doctors are 95% of the way done with their billing before the patient even walks in the door. And the doctor walks out of the visit and says, yeah, it went as planned. That's the end of it.
Right, exactly.
I mean, what is the difference between that and, okay, go back to your desk. Now, here's how you put it all into the system. Here's how you make copies of it. And so it's the same thing with this stuff.
You know what it is?
You
is
know?
a lot of these companies, okay, they get hired by, say for instance, okay, one practice or one conglomerate and says,
Yeah.
I need this.
Right.
And because they know their processes, they think that their process has to go this, then this, then this, then this.
Exactly.
And then the software company builds it in that this.
Yep.
And then the conglomerate or the company doesn't pay for full rights. So then they sit there and remarket it to everybody else as a big hodgepodge mess, because not everybody does it the same way.
Exactly.
So then everybody has to learn this medical billing company's way. But when
Yeah.
a software company, you just explain it to them, and they can build off. They say, oh, you just needed to do this, and they don't have any direction from any
All
one
those
person.
functions that you asked for, those are add-ons.
Yeah, those are obsolete.
on the basic database.
Yeah.
I literally saw one that had they kept adding new databases every time they wanted to add a different function.
Oh, geez.
And so you ended up with 3, 4, 5 databases. And when you're starting to network databases, you want to talk about lag time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God! Instead of having just excellent architecture, okay, with tables within the databases, that's where you get, and that's where you can jump ahead. And so when we're looking at this smart home system, you want to find something actually that was not designed by a thermostat company.
Correct.
Is what we're getting around to. And you want to find something that was designed by an intelligent software company that said, hey, is that all you needed to do? Watch this. Ding, 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 ding.
Right.
And come in and completely change the dynamic of how it's done. So what would be your best recommendation?
Personally,
you
I
like
would-
Nest?
Nest, yes. I
Yeah.
think Nest,
Okay.
Nest would be
No,
your
that's-
best.
Yep.
Guess
your
who's
best
going
option.
to the Nest now?
I
would
would
do it. Because I'll tell you what, the piece of crap I have sitting on my wall right
Look,
now
the
is a
hardware-
big
Now, who
piece.
owns Nest?
Google
Google now.
now.
Oh,
Right.
that's a shame. Okay.
It is a shame.
Never mind.
You're all trapped.
I'm
Now-
going to
now-
stick with my iHome.
They don't wait. They don't. Now they're not just watching what you surf on the internet. Now they're wanting to know how cold your house is.
And how you're feeling.
Well,
How
now,
are you
now they're
feeling today?
monitoring when you're home,
just
where
when
you
you're
are in
home.
your home.
Yep.
Okay, and how you're
And-
going, and when you're interacting with internet devices,
And
so
they
they
do
know
that
which.
anyway.
that air filter.
No, they now know which rooms to turn the microphones on in order to save data space on Alexa or whatever it is they have.
Well, see, I'm looking at
Google.
something right now called
Oh
the
my
Nest
God.
3-pack.
Yeah.
So
with the sensors.
you put the sensors in the other rooms of the house, I guess, and it says, oh, by the way, this room's hot, turn the AC up. So
Well,
the other
that-
rooms you could die
you
in.
could-
You freeze to death.
Yeah.
It's so cold in
Okay,
here.
all right, all
Why?
right.
Because
So here's
my son's room is 190 degrees because he's got four servers and he's got
like
TVs.
the differential because like if it's between 1 to 2 degrees, then change the temperature in the house down 1 degree. If another room is
got it.
hotter by 2 or 3 degrees.
Because
Like
both
See-
my boys, they run computers and they have a fridge
Oh,
in
yeah.
there. I'll be dying.
Go
I'll
get
be
a portable AC.
hanging meat.
So here's the existential question that we just raised,
Mm-hmm.
and that is, when it's too warm in the house, do you turn the air conditioner up or turn it down?
ceiling fans on.
Oh, shut up. That's not the question.
I turn it down.
See, but you just said, oh, it's hot in here, turn it up, is what you actually said.
Turn up the AC.
Yeah, turn up
But
the
you
AC.
have to go
So
sit
it's like,
down, blah, blah, blah.
I hate
You know,
that. So you turn up the thermostat, but you turn,
Yeah.
means the opposite of turn up the AC.
Right.
There we go. All right.
So
Existential
moving on,
crisis
so
settled.
Nest,
Please
buy a
move
Nest.
on.
Nest is
please.
a great product.
Please.
It's a great hardware, feels good, sturdy.
I can get to it from anywhere in the world.
Yes,
As long as I have internet.
because they have the software, they have the back end.
Does it run on 2.4 or 5?
I believe the newer ones can work on 5 too.
See, I think that's the problem.
The newer generation.
Is the older generation is strictly 2.4, and 2.4 is weird for some reason in my house. 5 always works. 2.4 is awkward and it doesn't work half the time. That may be what's wrong with this piece of crap I have on the wall.
Archer C4000, awesome router.
Named after, of course, Captain Archer of the Enterprise X. Sorry, we just became an episode of Nerd Talk.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yes.
So I was at a networking meeting the other day, right? Mm-hmm. I know me network. I just don't like people.
John really was sitting in a corner with a bunch of group of people.
He
Was
and I
on
was
Facebook.
watching.
He was
and-
on Facebook. He
Yeah.
calls it a networking meeting.
So somebody was walking past me there, and they're
I'm at the hub.
conspiracy people, right? And I love
No.
conspiracy. I love it. And he goes, "Are you going to be ready in a couple weeks?" I'm like,
I know.
"For what?" They're like, "Oh no, it's coming." I'm like, "Well, it's coming. The blackout."
Yeah.
I'm like, "What are you talking
It
about?"
was 2 days ago.
Jaws was going to be eating the internet.
He goes,
Internet
"Well, you know the
continental.
internet's going to go dark for
Yeah.
2 weeks, for 10 days." I'm like, I'm all over the. I'm literally
Adam, best commentary ever.
do what we do, and we're on the internet all the time.
Mhm.
I don't know where they're getting it's coming to
No,
a
it's the
blackout.
internet as we've known is coming to an
Oh no, they said it was
No. It's going to
pure
be a
blackout.
10-day, 2-week blackout. It's going to be
no
off.
internet,
No
no
internet.
nothing.
Who's turning it
That's
off?
what I want to know.
Somebody's
I
going to be
don't-
chewing on the damn intercontinental
Cable?
Cable.
There you
There's
go.
gonna be,
But
all
you know
the
what?
sharks are going to go to
But
it.
that will only knock it off in Europe. I mean, that doesn't knock
Yeah.
it off here. Everybody still has their own regionals.
Well, and we still have Elon's
Yeah,
satellites
yes,
up there.
of
so,
course,
I
we
mean,
still have satellites. So,
still-
the entire
Internet will
idea
never be
that
down.
anybody could turn off the internet is just insane.
Mother Nature.
Where
No.
Hold my beer.
okay,
I'm sorry,
so
not even Mother Nature.
Is
The
there
sun. Hold my beer.
yeah, right. Is there a switch somewhere
Boil,
that
boil.
will literally make it go?
Yeah,
know-
and Homer Simpson has his hand on it right now.
Right.
What's this?
It's a Duff beer.
Did I do that?
I've always wanted to know: is there
Is there a
there's-
kill switch?
is there a kill switch?
There
I
probably
think
is
countries
one,
have kill switches.
There's oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lori,
China.
Lori said Y2K all over again.
No,
Yeah.
like China has the Great Firewall now. They got rid of the Great Wall.
Yeah,
They got the Great Firewall.
Yeah, the Great Firewall of China. Exactly.
Anyway, so I put this.
yeah.
I put this in the group
it's
because
just it's abject silliness. Okay.
I think so. Right?
And just the very idea that any kind of terrestrial technology, there you go, I'll just inject that into it, okay, actually has the capacity to shut down the internet means that the people don't actually understand what the internet is. Okay? That when I connect to something, I have the ability to route through like 1,000 different servers around the world to get there.
More than
and
1,000.
and
It's
just
well over
anything I'm at.
lot.
You know, it's just insane how
Over a
complicated it
couple
works. Like your
million,
brain. You know, in many ways, it's analogous to the brain.
Yeah.
Because you can
Neurons.
take a bullet to the brain and your brain still works. You can get stabbed in the brain and the brain still works. Okay, you can.
No,
you can
that's
cut
how you
out.
kill zombies. I'm going to fight you
We
there.
ain't playing there. We
I'm
ain't going
fighting
there.
words.
Get off the brain
How do you kill-
subject.
how do
It
you kill
depends
zombie?
on where the bullet hits, but there have been a lot of brain injuries or removal
no,
of
no.
tissue,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
people are like, I got nothing, I'm fine.
Well, I mean, look at Biden.
They could take off.
There's your perfect example.
No, that's a perfect example of how it doesn't work
They can remove
afterwards,
half of
okay?
their brain.
I'm sorry. I'm not picking on Biden. It's too easy.
You're right, it's fact. But the point being,
Oh, there we go. We're shut off on YouTube. I can already feel it. I can feel the
feel
YouTube
like
button. Went,
my screen just went dark. Oh my God, did we just lose the internet? You know, but it's that complicated.
Facebook goes, that was
You
against.
can't just cut it out. It doesn't work that way.
No.
So there you
okay.
go. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, it's not going to go away. And if it
No.
does, I'll eat my words.
If it does,
Actually,
guess
I
what?
won't
We'll get
eat
back to
nothing
you
because
afterwards.
there won't be anything on there.
We'll get
I'll
back
say-
to you after it comes
You know,
back on
right.
and tell you what horrible people we were for ever thinking that we thought what we thought, and now 2 + 2 = 5. Thank you.
Right.
Go ahead.
This is funny. Tesla. This next.
Oh, this is
Okay.
going to be in one of those. Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Yes, that's right.
Oh my God. So Musk, right?
My hero.
His big statement: new semiconductor plants will end global auto chip shortage next year. Well, duh.
Hey, look at the way he looks at that picture.
I'm like, when I saw, I literally put
Look,
this in
look.
here because
Stop it. He's from Africa. You're being racist.
Oh, I don't care. That's the biggest duh statement
No,
I've ever seen
now,
in my entire life.
Wait, John, Anthony, you guys got to hear. So he just announced that, right?
Right?
So did you hear what just happened?
No.
Foxconn
Oh, language beep.
just purchased a deal with a company that is an electric car company, and
Yeah.
I think their stock ticker is RIDE, and I forgot the name of the company. I can pull it up here. Anyways,
Okay, we
they
don't care.
sold a Detroit, Michigan processing plant, a gigantic plant, huge,
Yeah.
to Foxconn for like $14.8 million.
That's
Because-
not much, but go
No,
ahead.
it wasn't much. They
Like
needed money.
peanuts.
They needed money, and they needed to get out of the manufacturing part and have a company that knows processes and stuff to get in.
Right?
Well, who uses Foxconn?
I give up who?
Apple.
Oh.
Right.
Apple has their hands in on this, the next Apple car. The deal is that the company not only purchases the manufacturing plant, but also purchased in stock purchase of this company to make their new trucks. And it's supposed to be start producing next, within this year, start releasing next year. So the company got an influx of money. Foxconn bought into the company
Right.
for making cars. Okay? Mm-hmm. And Foxconn is a major player for making all the iPhones.
Right.
So in a way, I bet Apple's somewhere in there going, you buy that, you do that, we buy the company, and you're making Apple car.
Now, honestly, I'm going to love getting in my car and it's going to say, hey, it's 11 o'clock. Do you want me to take you to Tech Shamans? And I'll be like, yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Lordstown Motors is the company.
Okay.
Go look them up. Lordstown Motors. They just sold their manufacturing plant to Foxconn. Foxconn already approved the deal.
Okay.
They're going to do it, and which means that obviously that could also be used for chip manufacturing here in the U.S.
Could be. Yeah.
Hey.
No, but I think, you know, this
But the
headline
whole
is a little
story-
deceptive, okay?
Right.
The story is very simple. He's saying, hey, look, we don't have to worry about this anymore. We're taking care of it, is really what he's saying.
Somebody's taking
that
care
what
of it.
Okay, yeah, he's not going like, oh, and guess what? If I make chips, we'll have chips. No, that's not what he's doing, okay? He's just saying, hey, look, we're not going to run into this problem again. We're taking charge. We understand there's a problem with our supply chain, and this is how we're fixing it. That's all,
That's it.
okay? So it's legit.
Okay.
Um,
Too legit.
if
to quit.
If it were
quit.
Bezos, I'd of course have to say something else.
Speaking of Bezos,
Speaking of Bezos,
William
and-
Shatner is heading to space.
Yes, he's going to be flying up on the next Blue Orgasm trip next month.
We're gonna
geez.
skip.
And,
we're gonna skip the Space Force thing. So.
Yeah. No, but yep, he's going to be flying up on Blue Orgasm.
But he won't be a true. He still won't be a true astronaut
No.
because the FAA came down and said, nope. To be an astronaut,
funny
you
thing-
have to do this, this, this,
Of,
this.
yeah, of course, everything has to have certifications and
Just
licenses
because you go
now.
up and leave your bow control does not mean you're an astronaut.
Yeah, okay, when in his final death scene, his last words, okay, are what he's probably going to be saying as he's launching, and it's going
Oh,
to be
shit?
no close. It's like, oh my, you know,
Sorry.
I just see oh my, you know, coming out of his
my.
mouth as he hits like 48 G's, and it's publicity. It's great. Does the man deserve it? Gene Roddenberry deserved it more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, sending Gene Roddenberry up would have been fantastic.
I have no problem with him going
I
up.
have no problem with him going up at all.
I love Shatner. I don't care
Yep.
what anybody says.
Yep.
I even liked him in TJ Hooker.
Hey, I loved him in Shall We Go Back to Airplane 2?
Oh, Airplane 2 was awesome.
Yes. there we
Bezos
have
better
it.
bring him back, though. This ain't going
We
down like the
secretly
last
find
one.
out that Bezos hated Star Trek.
Oh, crap.
And he's actually going to
out.
reprogram it so that it never comes back. It just keeps going towards Mars. So there you have it.
I guess.
Yep.
You know, I just think it's cool he's going up. Get a taste of real space, kind of.
Get a taste. It's
And
so
you know, it's
cool.
funny. He did an interview in like August saying that he knows nothing about space other than the fact that it's horrible. It's if you get hit by a piece of dust, you're dead. And so he's not really sure that's anything he'd ever want to do. And then suddenly a month later, he's like, I'm going to space.
Of course, it's not even,
You know?
in space, it's not even the dust you have to worry about.
But
It's the
thing is-
microparticles that penetrate the hull, that penetrate you, that do the damage.
Yes, but here's the other question. In space, nobody can hear you
Poop?
pause.
Oh,
See?
true.
There you go. All right, what's next, John?
Okay. So we kind of have some cool tech, right? So a new hydrogen, what can go wrong? Powered eVTOL aircraft can soar 800 miles. It's
I
a
am
drone that
just-
runs on hydrogen.
I'm just
New
now-
hydrogen, not
Yes.
old hydrogen.
Not old hydrogen like the
Not
Hindenburg
blowy
had.
up hydrogen.
No,
You
this
know,
is
is,
but new hydrogen.
Hydrogen electric generator? Is that
yes,
what it
this is
Yeah.
this is green hydrogen.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what makes this thing workable is the wings. If you think about it, because they're not trying to
yeah.
minimize the footprint, they're able to create all the lift they need without killing the battery.
Right.
Okay, by just having the propellers do it. And so, but yet it still gets to be a VTO. So it doesn't need a runway.
But is there-
That part's brilliant.
Okay, so I can
they're sticking a
understand.
person
I
in
understand
there.
forward. I mean, I understand up and down, but are there something in the back that pushes?
The two rotors in
Oh,
the back,
yes,
look
they
at them.
do. Yeah,
Yes.
there they are.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
The
how
two
are they getting
rotors in the
forward
back
thrust
flip
on
up.
that?
Zoom. There you go.
'Cause I know when I drone.
Yeah, I mean it's not showing it properly here. There it goes.
there
there
it
they go.
goes.
Now
Okay.
they're angling.
Because I know when
And-
I drone,
Yeah.
I have to, you know, that you can see
Yeah.
the drone pitch
Yeah.
forward.
Yep.
To give itself forward, you know.
Exactly. And in this case, the rear's pitch, and you know your left-right will also be controlled by those by the four front fans as well as probably ailerons on the wings. Yep, there they are.
So
no,
is-
actually, I don't see ailerons.
Is this self-driving or?
Why wouldn't it be?
Okay.
I mean, why wouldn't it be? Okay, it'd
It's a
be
pigeon.
silly not
Or
to.
do you have to have
It's a
you have to
picture.
have your 107 to be able to drive?
It's a pigeon.
No.
It only goes
With
to one place
commercial
and to the
use.
other.
No, but I mean, it's a phenomenal plan. I love the idea of the hybrid technology of using the wings for lift.
Yeah.
That to me just makes so much sense. And yet the footprint, the design on it is still pretty slick. And it looks darn safe. And I'm sure it has all, you know, that in the back there behind the cockpit, there's a big ass parachute that'll pop out
Oh,
if
I'm
something
pretty
goes
sure
wrong.
there
Yeah,
is.
that whole
Okay.
the wings detach, capsule goes.
Yeah.
Possibly.
That's
That would
possible.
be a
Possibly.
good idea.
Yeah.
Lands
But,
in the
but there
ocean,
you go. I think
floats
it's a
away.
great idea.
So
Yep.
okay,
Cool tech.
It is cool tech,
Cool tech.
and if they can make it work right and not, you know,
Yep.
it's got to be self-stabilizing because
Yeah, I
you
think
got
it
people
would
in there. What if you had a fat person, a skinny person?
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
It won't do that flippy
Nope.
thing.
Although I have seen even commercial jets have to shift people around.
I have seen that.
In order to accommodate.
Dude, here we go, Bunny Trail. We were sitting in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was doing a show back in a long time ago, right?
Still in the airport, and they had to shift seats. This guy
And
was
so
so fat.
we got in there and everybody, and, it wasn't even a full flight,
Right.
right?
Oh, that's another issue. Yeah.
But they said we need to take 4 people off, equivalent to 180 pounds each, or we can't take off.
Wow.
They knew down to the freaking
Yep.
grams what
Yeah.
they had to pull.
Yep.
And I mean, you're looking around, it's like nobody's getting off. Then they're like, well, we'll pay for the hotel
Of
and
course.
give you a free round trip anywhere, blah, blah, blah,
Yep.
on this airline. And so
Yep.
me and my buddies were like, all right, whatever, we'll get off.
Yeah.
We don't have to do anything tomorrow, but the next day we have to be back so we can do it. So we
Yeah.
flew out the next morning. But I've never seen them get that. I've never seen them get that picky.
Yeah.
They knew they had to take off
They knew
720 pounds
Yep.
to the ground.
And,
And I'm like,
of course, the wheels have the sensors, in the struts.
Oh, yeah.
So they're measuring
So-
the weight over the plane.
It's kind of
And they're
interesting.
going, oops, in order to get enough fuel in, and whoever it is that put the carry-on that was full of gold bricks.
So what
Yeah.
do you use for ad blockers on your computer?
I really don't.
Malware,
I don't really. I
Malware.
No,
ad block?
just ad blockers.
I personally just do what I'm supposed to do.
You don't click on them.
I just don't click on
I
it.
use AdBlock. I actually installed
yeah.
it after reading this next story.
Yeah. So confirmed.
Which, of course, I do almost entirely Safari. So AdBlock has an app just for Safari. You're done.
Right.
Yeah.
The CIA and the NSA both use ad blockers to stay safe online.
And you know what?
So they must be clickety click people.
Well, you can't.
Well, no.
You can't stop everybody. Everybody's a different person. Everybody just is so susceptible.
Yes.
And that's the biggest issue. And the problem is within these ads, these ads can also be malicious and
Yes.
redirect to fake servers, fake websites. Where, like for instance, you just hovering over it can cause the page to launch. And next thing you know, you're presented with, oh, your computer's unsafe, and now they already have remote access to your computer because you're right on their server or on their website that also installed
Yeah.
TeamViewer or something else in the background. And they're just waiting for you to make that phone call to confirm.
And by the
one
way,
more thing.
guys, you cannot extend your penis by 6 inches ever. It's physically impossible.
So stop clicking
buying
on
the
that
crap.
ad.
Stop. Just stop, for God's sakes. If you want to make it longer, buy the extension thing, which they make, which is weird. Don't ask me how I know that, but I listen to radio. I'm just saying. But don't click on anything. I don't even
Poor
hover
Anthony.
on stuff. And
You see what I have to deal with?
did I just bust a bubble for you?
No.
Okay,
no,
that's what he's like,
I
yeah,
actually
really.
have a story on that one. A girlfriend and I were cleaning out her dad's office. That is not something you want to find.
Yeah, the cage. You ever seen those? Never mind.
I
no
just
cages.
remember about the ones that were being overtaken online.
Oh my God. The red ones. Yeah, that's funny. But anyway, the point is, don't click on them. Even the NSA, when the CIA and the NSA,
But things you
have
don't
to
even
protect-
have to click on them. That was Adam's point.
Yeah.
All you need to do is run your mouse over them to try and get off the page, and you could activate
Yahoo
it.
is the worst.
Yeah.
Yahoo is the worst.
Yeah.
Just going to Yahoo.
AOL was the worst.
Yeah, well,
And AOL, believe it or not, is still around.
I know. Well, I see people with these AOL email addresses, and I'm like,
AOL.com.
oh,
I'll probably
that's
pay
so
for this because
cute.
I'll never get anything.
Hey.
AOL is still around.
that's right.
Wow.
You know
God,
what? I think
mercy.
Earthlink is too.
Who?
Earthlink.
No.
Well, AOL is owned by Time Warner now. So it's just like a division that's probably getting a $58 budget every year.
$15
You know?
budget.
Yeah. It's like
Earthlink.net.
just stay online.
Hey,
Oh, my
all
God.
your internet needs.
All the internet you
It
need
is-
to keep your 286 humming right along.
Look, they have
High speed.
high-speed internet for $49.95.
Yes.
Wow.
Make the right connection, but how do you
Mobile
We no
plan
longer
starting
use
at
44K
$18.
modems. We use 56K.
mercy? This stuff still
Earthlink.
exists.
Wow. You know we need to
I
look
wonder
up
if you have
next?
to pay for AOL. Is AOL?
Oh, yeah.
You know,
No.
I have
Starting at $1.99.
I still
No, that's
have
GoDaddy.
customers.
I know.
I still have customers that come in that are paying for like AOL services,
Right.
on their like subscription to like Spectrum and stuff like that. You know remember how they had a little package?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still on there because they want to keep their email address.
That is absolute butt shit crazy.
Yep.
But anyway, so if you want to hear something kind of cool, so okay, we've talked about this is Web 2.0, right? We're in today. There was Web 1.0 was what we all started off with, AOL.
Right.
Okay, that's a different.
I understand,
yes,
but where I'm going to go is
go.
It's going to be Web point fix it all, right? Billions of dollars is going to be in upgrades to make the internet. So half of America, half the United States, if actually a little bit more than half of the United States, is still on DSL.
Yeah.
They don't have fiber connections, or that's why Elon's putting all this stuff up there because they don't have that.
That's
fast,
the
right?
whole point. Leapfrog it.
But to get to this, so what I saw was this was kind of cool. That is, you can actually there's stocks. If you buy into the stock world, if you're a stock person, it's supposedly supposed to. Oh, why'd it go away?
It's because it's a pay-for article. I couldn't look at it either.
God, I hate
I'm not covering
that.
the paywall on this crap.
You know what? I can do this because I'll read it. Copy. Look, folks, there's another way around have to pay for crap. No, there's not. Yeah, here it is. CNBC. The free one.
I thought that's where you were.
Oh,
No,
it
that's
is.
where you were.
Anyway, there's stock. And we'll put them up for you.
There are different companies that are really set to profit from this. I mean, it goes back to the gold rush mentality. You could speculate on this prospector because he had this track record, or this one because he had that track record,
Right.
Or you could just go ahead and buy stock in the general store in the Yukon.
That's what I would do.
Because they made all the money off everything. And that's the smart investment strategy anyway. Yeah, you're not going to get that wild, crazy run of, a 10,000% return, but damn, you're going to get a good return every year off all those people spending their money to back the individual prospectors who go spend money at the store.
Right.
And that's where you want to be. And it's kind of the same thing here. They got an outline of some companies that are set to profit from it. But honestly, if you look at Africa, okay, and India, they were held back horribly from taking part in the modern world of technology and communication because the idea of building a telephone infrastructure in those vast continents was just insane.
Right.
And it was almost impossible. And as soon as the cell phone came out and they were able to jump it, it absolutely changed the whole market for them. And there's nobody out there building phone lines in Africa. And yet they are totally able to do all kinds of, there are no distractions on the air, I promise. They are capable of doing whatever it was that we can do now.
Right.
They just leapfrogged it.
Okay,
and I think we're going to do the same thing with this. I mean, this is all articles about running wires and fiber optics.
There was, did we talk about it? I can't remember, but I did read
You're the youngest one on the cast. You better in hell remember.
God, don't rely on my memory.
No, Google was using lasers
Yes.
to beam
Laser beams.
Lasers.
I really thought Bezos would
They
be
were
doing
using
that.
lasers to beam internet from a major city
Yes.
to another city that had a lot of inhabitants, but they couldn't run the cable because of I forgot what river it was.
And
it
that's-
in the Amazon or something.
right.
But it was so.
And all these half birds keep falling from the
We
sky.
don't understand. So I guess it would be
Their
the
wounds are perfectly cauterized. I don't understand.
same thing as running a fiber connection.
Yeah. They
It's just unprotected, and yes, something flies into it, it's dead. It is what it is.
You can see it now. I'm just out here flying my ultralight across. And everybody's like, what happened to the internet?
It cuts them off at the ankles. Oh.
At least it'll be a clean cut.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Well,
cauterized.
that's assuming it's a tiny beam.
Yeah.
Let's imagine the beam is like 15 feet across.
Oh,
It's like you're just
jeez.
like vaporized as you pass
You know how much
through
energy it would take to push a 15-foot wide beam? Even a mile?
1 trillion megajoules.
So, I don't know, Facebook,
Take 21.2 gigawatts.
or
gigawatts, as they said in the
Facebook
80s.
took us down. Isn't that funny?
What?
Facebook took us down.
Just now?
Yep.
Oh, you know what it was?
What? Make it
No, I was
fun.
asking. Do you know what it was?
I don't know.
Facebook is so silly.
Facebook is so silly.
So, but those of us who are watching
It says it's live, but we're
intelligently
not.
on our network
So anyway,
don't
yeah.
get these interruptions.
Right, exactly.
Isn't that a neat concept? Always watch us back on the
So I want to.
homepage.
There's a couple I do want to talk about. Samsung hopes to copy and paste the Brain 3D chip. I think you need to let this shit go.
You know how much bandwidth it would take just to get all the information out of the brain?
Right.
It's not the information; it's the structure.
It's just
What
the
they're
structure.
doing is they are like imagine doing a die pack in, okay, to get a small segment, one data center.
Right.
And then bringing that out as like a 3D map and telling your 3D printer to print it. Okay, that's basically what they're doing, only they're overlaying that circuitry onto a chip. And it's a fantastic idea, which really got me working on a couple thoughts, actually, just reading the article, because what it does is if you're able to create those things, that's freaking awesome. The problem is you've got like 100 million of these little locations you need to duplicate that way.
Right.
And then each of them has to be connected with about 1,000 different connectors.
Facebook servers went down.
Oh, Facebook's down.
Oh, so it's...
it wasn't us. We broke the internet.
Oh my God, the internet did go down.
Ooh.
The
Anyway.
internet did go down.
So I just, I don't know if they're going to get to this soon, but I don't want well, maybe I do, because I have a good brain. I have a sexy brain.
But the thing is, it wouldn't be you. It would just be how your brain is structured is what they're duplicating.
Did they do a movie about this?
Probably.
With,
Which one?
Mr. I got banned from Disney guy, Pirates of the Caribbean guy.
Oh, Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp. They did
Johnny
a-
Depp got banned from
I'm
the
going to
ride.
pass on that one. Well, he's out of Fantastic Beasts. But it really got me to thinking about there's a big debate about whether you can.
Yeah. I'll be okay.
There's a major debate about whether the brain is digital or analog. And reconstructing it this way, if it'll work,
Transcendence,
will allow you to recreate the digital structure
right?
of the brain, as opposed to the analog structure, which everything is zeros and ones on and off. And that's the analog. I mean, it's like a mouse going through a maze making choices, which was the model of the brain for a long time. Now they've got one, and it's fascinating because what they're realizing is each of the neurons in question, they don't just fire when they get a stimulus. It's almost like they have to wait until they get enough stimulus to make them fire. And seriously? Wow. Yeah, Facebook is down, folks.
No, this is WeBeam.
That's WeBeam? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's not
we
right
not
either.
beaming.
That's interesting. Okay, so anyway,
Yeah, I'm going to work on that one.
yeah, it's just a lot of work. So it's not ready to transcend. Okay, I'll say I want to jump. Oh man, we're running out of time. Companies are hoarding personal data about you, and here's how to get them to delete it. Did you guys read this one?
I didn't see this one.
Yeah, it's on.
I
there.
missed it.
February.
Yeah, there it is, number
Whitney
11.
Merrill, private attorney who lives in San Francisco, asked audio chat company Clubhouse to disclose how many people had shared her name, phone number with the company as part of contact sharing, and it was way too much. Way too much.
Yeah.
She didn't disclose how many, but over 400 California businesses, I think is what it was.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, this is, so if you're out there looking for us, we are on WeBeamTV.com. Facebook, though, is still down.
What's going on?
That is wild.
That is weird, man. Facebook is like taking a dive. Oh, there
Now
we
it's saying I had no internet connection. This is what I keep getting back.
No,
So
pretty
this
good. We're all
whole
there.
thing is weird.
So we're going to have a new, actually, we're
Hi,
going to talk about
everybody.
this real quick. So
Yes.
starting next week, hopefully, if everything works out right, instead of going to Facebook, we're going to be on Facebook. We're going to push everybody to our new live page.
Yes.
So people can actually talk to us
Yep.
through the live page, which is freaking awesome.
It certainly is.
Right? So here's something. Did you guys hear what YouTube's doing?
No.
I've heard
Okay,
a lot
so
of
we have a
things.
story in here. YouTube could face a total ban in Russia.
Yes.
So, if the giant the tech giant doesn't unblock RT's German language channels,
Yep.
Moscow's media regulator warns. So, in other words, Russia's saying, we want everything we do, or we're just going to ban you totally.
RT is the Russian Times, of course, is the paper it's in. And it is a worldview that is, slanted. And I mean, when you read down the list, it's like how America's trying to keep up with Russia in terms of ballistic missiles and things like that. So it has a very Russia first slant. It's like make Russia great again or something, and MRGA. But the idea that is really behind it is, the banning YouTube is actually only a tiny part, because what they're getting at is Germany has told YouTube to turn it off. And YouTube said yes, and they turned it off. So now Russia's saying, look, you either turn that back on, or it's not that we're just going to block YouTube. We're going to block all German stations from coming into Russia. So you want to start a war, an information war between our countries? You want to insulate your people? We're going to insulate our people. Mm-hmm. Wow, talk about a gigantic step backwards. We are forcing Russia to the point where they are going to re-insulate their people again. And who's doing it? Companies like YouTube are doing it. They are facilitating the rebuilding of the Iron Curtain.
Yeah.
That's what's just shocking to me, that they are doing this. And it's mind-numbing.
You cannot, when you play as a global host to the internet, to the whole world, you can't pick and choose what you're gonna show and what you're not. And one country tells you to do this and one country tells you to do that. No, you gotta play fair across the board, or else something's going to happen. And this right here is
Well, so now that's the story that we had in the notes. The story I'm going to talk about today right now is the fact that if you are anti-vaxxer, if you are
Not even anti-vaxxer.
according to YouTube, if you
question the vax.
Yeah, so somehow, some way, the Biden administration has gotten to YouTube and said, if anybody talks bad about this, shut their account off. No, it's not just turn them off. It's not just give them the strike. It's literally deleting their channel.
Yes, turn off their channel.
Deleting the channel.
Gone. And so these are things where you look at the whole Nicki Minaj thing that just went on. She said, do your research and make an informed decision.
all of Facebook,
Yes, it is.
all of WhatsApp, everything.
And look at the the backlash to that she got. It was massive for just saying, do your research and make your own choice. And that is considered promoting vaccine hesitancy. Right. If you talk about treatments, if you talk about anything, you can talk about monoclonal antibodies, but you're only allowed so much.
Right.
I think that's how that works.
So this is, and I also, I also read that they're going to go back 6 months.
Oh, at least.
With their AI. And their AI is going to go through everything that your channel has been talking about. And if they see if the AI work, this is what I read. I don't know for a fact. This is just some guy talking, right?
Go ahead.
Is if the first set of AIs it's to see if the word vaccine shows up.
Yep.
If you talk about vaccinations, which we're doing right now, so we'll probably get looked at, right?
No, you won't.
And then the secondary.
Facebook's down.
No, this is YouTube.
YouTube we're talking about now.
Oh,
YouTube.
well, I'm sorry.
And then the secondary AI goes in and finds out whether you're talking about misinformation or don't go get it or blah, 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 right? And then the third step is they're actually having physical bodies going through and watching it, and then they will shut you down.
And
shut you down.
Shut you off, delete your content.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the point. They erase your existence. We have now come to the place where our revulsion at the Chinese social score system, okay, is now here. We're now doing it. Your bank accounts are being closed. If you are an online person of any nature and you're making money on there, you're gone. Your store is gone. Your way of, if you're a YouTuber, you're gone. You can't be monetized. You can't process credit card transactions anymore. Okay, they've shut off most of the major credit card, PayPal, all that. You can't take that. They are now talking about the fact that you have to have a passport, I'm a good citizen passport, in order to get on any public transportation. I'm talking airplanes, I'm talking buses,
Right.
I'm talking anywhere you want to travel. Okay? You want to go between state lines, it's now a federal issue. Congratulations.
Yeah,
you probably
so
can't leave your state.
We had a in a networking group, in a hearing networking group, we had a lady that does a lot of travel plans and stuff for people. She was talking about what's coming.
Yep.
And the coming is it's going to be like Russia. It's going to be like Germany. It's going to
Russia
be
was
like
never like this.
you're going to have papers. So remember how old movies when you go
show
across
us
the border,
yeah.
you got your papers.
Remember Indiana Jones throwing the guy off the dirigible?
Yeah.
No ticket.
No ticket. You can't. You're
That's
going to have
it.
to. So you're
You're
going
gonna
to
get
have
thrown
to
off
have
the
that.
blimp.
There's a new card coming, a new photo ID that you're going to have to get across.
And I don't understand how that's
And
not
how are they
racist.
and how are they going to stop that?
How are they going to get those to the black people who can't get IDs?
Right.
So it's
Or the
obviously a racist policy.
You know, or the Guatemalans or the Haitians.
It's just black people that can't get IDs, remember?
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. Where it's ridiculous that we have to go through. So I wanted to talk about the butterfly effect
Yep.
because World of Warcraft, ooh, that was a faux pas, led to creation of Ethereum, the Bitcoin.
Sure.
Well, I mean, if you read the thing,
It's an interesting connection. And
small
yeah.
change to a character in a World of Warcraft, the popular
Yep.
game of Activision, had a big impact on a cryptocurrency and the creation of a non-fungible.
Right. Yep, fungible.
And what happens is this guy, Vitalik Buterin, says his official blog, I cried myself to sleep on the day that I realized that the horror centralized service can bring and soon decided to quit. I guess he just wasn't happy with the way
He
things
wasn't
were
happy
going.
with the way they changed a character's ability to cast a spell in World of Warcraft and the damage it would do. And so he said, you know what? I'm not going to play World of Warcraft anymore. I'm going to go do something else with my time. Hey, this idea of a non-fungible currency, this is kind of cool. Let me see what this is all about. And he turned his attention to this, and it led to the creation of Ethereum.
And then now
as a Bitcoin, and now he's a billionaire. He's got 1.1 billion in Ethereum Bitcoin.
And with 10 seconds to go, thanks for watching today. Send us
Hi, guys,
more.
we love
hey,
you.
look, if you want to get
Thank
hold of
you.
us, get it. Well, you can't do
Yeah,
it.
always watch us on WeBeamTV.com.
Yeah. See you guys later. Bye. Have a
Bye.
take week.
We got the plans 'cause we are the Shamans. We understand 'cause we are the Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.